Thank you, Pilar. Thanks for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here and have the opportunity to address all of you on this important issue of open internet from a network operator's perspective. Let me start by assuring again that Deutsche Telekom is committed very much to the openness of the internet and prepared to continue to increase the best effort capability. I think this goes without saying. The market is competitive, and from an operator's perspective, it is important that we keep this dimension of competition, especially in the internet access service, which is exactly what quality does a network operator provide for the very basic level of connectivity, which is the best effort internet. It will be here to stay, and the question that is on the table today is what is the relation to the so-called specialized services. I think before we go into more detail on specialized services, it is important to not only see the threats. There has been a lot of talking about the best effort internet is endangered by the mere existence of specialized services, and not much attention has been given to the opportunities that specialized services will provide. I think this will be a very important point to remind in the deliberations about what the rules should be. Having said so, we at Deutsche Telekom believe that it is in principle a very good thing to have a clear set of rules, as this will provide legal certainty not only for consumers but also for network operators and service providers. It is essential at this point in time that we have clarity, and that we have clarity not on a national level but on a European level, what the rules of the internet should be going forward. So, when we speak of specialized services, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, IPTV. This is known. We know the benefits, and we see the implementations today. What is not known is what are the specialized services of the future, or there is no clear picture yet. So let me go a bit more into this. What we are thinking of when speaking about specialized services at Deutsche Telekom is providing the offer of clearly defined levels of quality for the transport layer. It's not a pre-structuring of what service should be delivered in what condition to the consumer, but it is a mere offering of increased choices, and we think this is very important also for the development of new services. Thinking of cloud access, if you have your data and your applications in the cloud, you might not want to depend on best effort quality. It might work, or it might just not work. As a business, this is simply not acceptable. You have to be sure it works. So that is one application of specialized services, with a great importance also for European businesses. Another one is the whole domain of e-health. We have all this possible innovation in this sector, and especially with a mobile connection. So here again, do I want to risk that my health monitoring system will be in a congestion state because someone else in the cell is watching high definition video? I don't think I would personally. So again, this is a situation where it is very important to have a clear legal certainty that we are allowed to do the traffic management that we need to do to deal with congestion. So, the main point from the Deutsche Telekom perspective would be that if we are speaking about the internet economy, there have to be an equal set of rules for everyone providing same services. We see the OTTs are providing services that are able to substitute established classical telecommunication services, albeit they are not under the same rules. We have potentially, yes, competition law that might get them. We have seen, for example, with search neutrality, that there are efforts. However, it's not established, not in a sense of regulation as for the telecom sector anyway. So let me ask all of you, who are the gatekeepers of today? Is it really the network operators? I think there are a whole lot of new gatekeepers. What is happening in the internet and what can be found in the internet very much depends on the search engine I use to access the internet. It also depends on the mobile operating system that I have chosen. For example, and our marketing research clearly shows this, if I chose an Apple iOS, the possibility that my next phone will be another Apple iPhone is at 80%. The same is true if I chose Android. However, should I have a Microsoft operating system or BlackBerry, the probability that my next phone is from Microsoft or from BlackBerry is just around 20%, with 40% going that my next phone is going to be Android or an iPhone. So again, if I chose an operating system, I'm locked in a sense. My data is in this ecosystem, my apps are in this ecosystem, even the digital content I buy is in an ecosystem. So what is harder to do? Switch your network operator or switch the ecosystem you chose with your phone? So when deliberating about fair rules in the internet economy, I think we need to take into account that the balance of power has shifted. And yes, we as European network operators are the most tangible ones. Regulation is established and it is rather easy to pass new obligations upon network operators. However, in order to assure innovation and investment and achieve the goals of the digital agenda, we believe we should take into account that market power nowadays resides also on other levels of the internet economy value chain. So my concluding statement would be, please consider that we need this level playing field, and it should also be reflected in a new telecoms package. At the same time, for specialized services, please do consider that the definition also reflects that in mobile, specialized services can be offered. Now this is a bit trickier, as we have seen in the proposals. There are terms like closed network or guaranteed quality, which is very hard to do in mobile. So I assume the political intention is that we are truly technologically neutral when deliberating the open internet. So my key ask of today would be to also assure that specialized services can be provided in mobile as well. Thank you very much.